Apparently there's a huge storm heading to Hanover, New Hampshire.
Hanover? Has anybody ever heard of that?
Apparently there's an Ivy League school there, Dartmouth College.
Well, if our data's right and there's a heavy amount of precipitation headed up the East Coast, this could be something worth our time.
Speaking of our time, did you hear about that new batch of instruments they sent us?
No, but before they drag us behind, I guess we should probably catch them up to speed.
Yeah, let's start with the basics.
Well, modern weather technology relies on radar. Radar stands for radio detecting and imaging and ranging.
Now the technology in radar is really great when you look at it. It sends out electromagnetic waves similar to computer networks or mobile phones.
These signals are then sent out and reflected by objects in their path.
Basic radar has four main parts. The first part's the transmitter. That's what creates the energy pulse. And then there's a receiving and transmitting switch that tells the antenna when it's time to transmit and when it's time to receive these energy pulses. An antenna that sends these pulses out into the atmosphere and receive the reflected pulses back. And the fourth is a receiver that detects and amplifies. Then finally, it transforms the received signals into a more visual format.
Now you see the visual weather images we see on the news are actually maps of reflected particles of precipitation in certain areas. The color of the data depends on factors such as particle size, speed, shape, and state of weather in the area.
To learn more about how we interpret these visual images, let's check in with some experts.
When our meteorologists are trying to determine what type of precipitation we're anticipating for the state, we're looking at a variety of computer model data. What I'm showing on the screen is actually live weather data that's occurring today in the Midwest U.S. There's a low pressure system here over Illinois and a wide area precipitation with a cold front and warm front in this area. We don't just look at temperature at the surface, we're actually looking at conditions throughout the depth of the atmosphere. That would include the low levels near the ground as well as the higher up levels, about 10,000 feet or so, in quite a variety of ways. With our computer system, we can actually show that instead of looking at temperature, we'll actually look.
Radar is based on physics concepts, but we use it as a tool to further our understanding of the world.
Whew. All right, team, we're all back together. Good, because we need to go over some data and we need to do it fast. This storm's moving in pretty fast. Okay, so we're checking our charts now to see the amount of precipitation. We want to get the best footage we can possible as quick and efficiently as we need to do to get in there and out of there safely, because this is a PDS.
Potentially dangerous situation. Now, our data comes to us in two categories. We have reflectivity, but we also have velocity. Now, reflectivity is the amount of precipitation in a specific area, and velocity is the speed and direction of that precipitation away or toward our radar.
You know how we can tell this? Because we have Doppler radar. Doppler measures the velocity. Others just get reflectivity.
Anyway, we're moving on in.
Yeah, let's go.
Doppler technology we were talking about earlier?
Of course.
Yeah, so that was actually created by Christian Doppler. And Christian Doppler discovered the Doppler effect. And then that's a theory that sound waves change in pitch when there's a shift in frequency.
Is that why when ambulances drive past, they sound differently?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can actually determine the speed of the precipitation in weather patterns using this technology. And that's where we get the velocity and Doppler ranging.
Well, let's take a break for a second. Now, there are many interferences to radar. These interferences include geographic interferences such as proximity to sea or high mountains. They also include natural blocks, and the more sensitive a radar is, the more sensitive it is to interference. This is a huge problem with our Doppler radars, and it's a reason that we take a lot of time with our data to make sure that we are getting the best answer possible.
Alright, so we're here at base camp now. Just gotta wait out for this storm.
We can already see some snow building up in the area, so we're expecting a large storm to come through at any minute.
You know what I was just thinking about? When you were talking about the interference, or radar interferences with natural barriers, that's kind of like the technology, or natural technology, that bats use to echolocate their world.
That's true, and dolphins.
True. Look, everywhere.
Whew, what a day.
Yeah, I can finally relax and check my phone.
It's
Oh,
nice to have service again.
apparently there's a new technology called dual polarization. It helps forecasters better differentiate between the type of particle. That'll really help when we're trying to chase down storms in the future.
I can see some rad footage ahead of us. Alright guys, now that you've watched the process, seen us struggle along the way, I'm sure you can appreciate work and risk that goes into getting the best storm photography out there. And hey, maybe even picked up on some of the technical information. Our interns sure learned a lot.
See us next time.
Tornadoes?
Join us next week on Storm Chasers.